Music, off the grid down under, southwest Western Australia. Well, I might take you for a bit of a walk and a talk and have a bit of a chat about a couple of things. Get me stick and off we go. We've had a bit of rain, quite a bit of rain recently. Tanks are full, and see that green tank I've got all my gutters up, and yeah, that tank's not big enough. What I want to have a chat today about is alcohol, my journey with the alcohol, how it's affected me, and how I've given it a bit of a rest about 15 years ago. Well, my journey into alcohol first started, don't know when yours started, but hopefully this helped someone. It was about 15 or 16. I had my first sip, you know, not 18 back in the day. So I had a bit of a sip of alcohol, and I thought, oh shit, how do you drink this? It's fucking horrible. And yeah, I hated the taste of it, to be honest, the first sip I had. And then people used to say, oh, it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. Yeah, you got to learn what it does to your head before you enjoy the taste. But yeah, didn't enjoy the taste. And then not long after that, didn't get pissed or nothing, just, you know, oh, horrible stuff. Anyway, my old man, he used to make red wine, and he made a lot of red wine, and yeah, that gets you pissed. So one day, I suppose I was 16 or around that age, and I thought, oh yeah, let's get into the piss. It's always been, and by the way, Australians, yeah, we call it piss, it's alcohol, and getting pissed is getting drunk. So yeah, got into that one night, and man, it hit me, and found myself out in the back garden spewing up my guts, you know. Oh, it was a terrible experience. Yeah, so that's the start of it. I suppose I got the taste of it. You know, it was around my life a bit. My parents used to drink a bit. Yeah, the old man didn't mind a drop of his red wine. Never got violent or anything. And then, yeah, didn't get into it too much in my early 20s so much. Yeah, a few parties, you know, tequila. I remember a young fella on the tequila one day, teenager, all my schoolmates at some party, and we're all out the back spewing our guts up. Yeah, great fun. And then there was another one, I suppose I was about 18 or 19 for this one, with one of my mates, Alan Mills it was, and I must have been 17 or 18. I had my driver's licence. I had V-dub then, and we were out the beach there. And back in the 70s, I think it was Southern Comfort. We had a bottle of Southern Comfort, and yeah, we were sitting in the V-dub. We were going to some party or some function or something, and thought, oh yeah, we've got to get pissed. And so yeah, we did one cap. He did one cap, then two caps, and then he did two caps and three caps, and we went like that until the bottle was finished. And then went to the do, and man, I went on remote, you know, remote where the lights are on and no one's home. Like the next day, you can't remember a fucking thing, what happened. Well, I was on remote, and yeah, what they told me I was doing the next day actually horrified me, you know. So I never really touched the spirits again. I was wanting to fight people and carry on. I couldn't remember any of it. So I just wonder what alcohol does to your brain when that happens. I don't think it's real good. Anyway, I progressed on, and Yeah, it's sort of another alcoholic experience was when I was in high school, and it was the sixth form. Back then it was sixth form, in year 12 now. It was a sixth form farewell, or they call them balls now. But it was a farewell, and we were farewelling them. And yeah, they were all wanting to spike the punch, you know, and they're taking donations. I didn't want to spike the punch. I didn't want to pay or nothing. So in the end, we had our own. We went up the pub and had a few before we went. We're in it would have been year 11, fifth form, and then we went there, and you know, we got in the shit a bit, being a bit drunk. There was teachers down the Dunnies with us, sipping our alcohol that we smuggled into the joint. Anyway, that's another alcoholic experience. Another one, another touch on the spirits. Usually I just drink beer after I learnt what the spirits do to you. I was in Kupang in Timor, and we're drinking the arak. You know, that arak, Indonesian bloody rice wine or whatever it is. Drinking the arak, and we're in this restaurant, and yeah, we're drinking arak for a bit, long enough for the tide to come in. This joint was on a cliff, and yeah, the tide come in, and a couple of us thought, oh yeah, you do a bit of silly shit when you get pissed. So we decided, oh yeah, let's jump off the cliff into the water. So we're jumping off the cliff, coming up, having another sip of the fucking arak, walking through the restaurant all wet, jumping off this cliff. I can tell you that night I never found it to a bed that night. I don't know, I can vaguely remember someone sort of trying to wake me up in a gutter somewhere. It was another horrible, oh, it was a great experience jumping off the cliff. Yeah, that was good. And then that lau cow, I don't know if you've ever got into a bit of lau cow. I shied away from it by this stage, in my mid-20s or heading towards my late 20s. The lau cow up in northern Thailand, it's got so much alcohol in it, you light it up. It lights up, it's quite amazing. Yeah, so that's the alcohol, and basically I drank beer, and you know, after I got married and had kids, and you're running a business and looking after a family, so, you know, a few responsibilities, you don't get into the piss that much. So I didn't think I had too much of a problem with it. Used to drink a bit of beer, you know, at golf and after golf, and a few times a week, might have a six-pack, get into a bit of wine, you know, your normal sort of alcohol, but you didn't think you had a problem. Anyway, yeah, there was, and the kids grow up, and they were doing sailing, right? And we were doing a lot of sailing and travelling around the country to national championships and that, and got into sailing a bit serious. And the beauty of sailing is the bars and sailing clubs are all on this beautiful water, beautiful views. Anyway, there was one day in we were sailing, right, and the kids were sailing. It was East Fremantle, actually, East Fremantle Yacht Club, Sailing Club, and we packed up at the end of the day. Kiddies were playing around down the bottom, and me and two blokes, parents, went up the bar, you know, as you do. And look at the sunset over the water, although it wasn't a sunset. And yeah, it was Reese and Paul, and Reese went and had the first shout, right, and got a pint of this redback. And I hadn't really drunk redback much, a beer it is. Anyway, had the pint of redback, then it was my shout, and I went and got a pint of redback each. So we had a couple of pints of redback, right? And then it's Paul's shout, and he's a little bit cheaper than Paul, but I think the main reason we got the midi, we had to drive home, you know, and we couldn't kick on or nothing. Got to take boats home and unload them. And anyway, had the midi, and then yeah, later that night, here's a few bees around here, down here at the edge of my block, just taking you for a walk through my bush. This is sort of the edge of me block down there a bit. Anyway, we went home, unloaded the boats and that. I don't think I drank any more. Might have drunk some, but I can't remember drinking too much more. And then, you know, it was a Saturday night. It was the 7th of February actually. Just can't remember which year. It might have been around 2010 or 11 or something. Anyway, yeah, did a bit of stuff. Then going to bed at about 10 o'clock that night. Going to bed. I got into bed and that, and man, some terrible hangover thing just started. Horrible headache and, you know, feeling terrible, horrible. And then I was rolling around the floor, going, oh, it's fucking poison, like some sort of hangover thing that, you know, didn't wait till the next morning or something. Man, I was rolling around on the floor going, it's fucking poison, I'm never drinking that shit. Anyway, I got through the night, and then the next day I thought, oh man, that was horrible. I wonder what that was. Anyway, I thought about it, and I've been in finance. I was in finance at the time, and financial planning and selling mortgages and that. And you go to all these functions, the banks and all the financial planning functions, lunches and functions, and they all, you know, it's all free piss. And, you know, who wouldn't take advantage of free piss? I do. So all this free piss was coming my way, and I was getting into it a little bit, you know, and then after this hangover thing, I thought, oh shit, I've got to give this a bit of a rest. So I thought, oh, yeah, I think I've had enough of it. Yeah, so I suppose I was around 50, 51 I suppose. It was about 14 years ago. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll give it a rest for a year. So I'm not quitting alcohol, just giving it a rest for a year, you know. I thought, oh yeah, I'll give it a rest for a year. So 7th of February it was, Saturday it was. I suppose I could track back the year. Anyway, yeah, I decided I wasn't going to drink again for a year. And then I went out and I told my wife this, and she said, oh, you'll never make it. you never make it. Oh, okay, you know. And that end of that year, we were going over to the eastern states. I'm in Western Australia, and I've got a few family, siblings and that over there. And we're going to catch up with them and all that at Christmas, and and do the sailing in January and that, you know, with the kids and the national championships over there. And anyway, she said, no, you'll never make it going over there with a family and that. I said, oh, you want to bet? And she said, yeah. I says 500. I'll give a bet for 500. And she went, oh, yeah, okay. So we had the bet for 500. Got on with me, yeah, no drinking. So I gave it a rest, you know, and then going over there for the Nationals, went over there and everything, did all that, didn't have a drink. And it was around the middle of January, so the National Championships are around the beginning of January, I think, for a week or whatever it is, 10 days. Anyway, it was about the 15th of January, and we're coming driving back, a bit of a drive across the Nullarbor, and I said, oh, so it's only about 3 weeks to go and my year's done, right? I said, oh, in the car there, said to the wife, you got your 500 ready? She says, oh, what 500? I says, the 500 for the bet, you know, no drinking for a year. She says, what are you talking about? I says, the bet, 500 we had, I wasn't going to drink for a year. Like, I've only got 3 weeks to fucking go, I'm done. I can get back on the piss. And she said, no, it wasn't for 1 year, it was for 3 years. And I went, oh, are you serious? Fucking bullshit. It was for 1 year. And she said, no, it was for 3 years. And she probably had a great year, you know, not having a drunk husband at all. Anyway, I thought about it and driving along, and I went, oh, well, fuck it, okay. We'll do 3 years. I thought, if I can do 1 year, I can do another 2. And so I, you know, still giving it a rest. And I thought, oh yeah. And did another 2 years. Got to the 3 years. You know, life's going better than ever. You know, not sick, not ill, not waking up with a fucking hangover, you know, and getting on. The only thing you can do when you start drinking is drink more. You can't work or do nothing. You just got to keep drinking. And had plenty of 12-hour sessions. They get you into trouble. And anyway, so I've given it a rest for 3 years. And then I started thinking, well, it's all going so good. If I'd done 3, I could probably get to 5. so that was about going on 15 years ago. Yeah, so I haven't given up drinking or quit. I've just given it a rest. So if you find it's a bit of a problem for you, maybe you should try just giving it a rest. Even if you give it a rest for a day, if you're an everyday drinker. I was never really an everyday drinker. I have had sessions where I've woken up in the morning and started, but yeah, not really an everydayer. Kept my life together a bit. Yeah, but yeah, so I haven't really had a drink, although I have, I'll be honest with you. When we finished ramming that building last December it was, finished all that rammed earth, man, that was pretty hard. Look at the other videos up here somewhere. Yeah, that was pretty hard. And then got that done, so we cracked a bottle of Moe, you know, $100 bottle of champagne. And, you know, one of my clients at around Christmas time, they start giving you bottles of piss and that. I had a bottle of wine as well, so I got on that. That was all right. And then, yeah, so, and then that had a drink, so I haven't totally given up, I just had a rest. Here, I'll give you a look at this track. You see this track in the bush here? It leads up there to them rocks and then leads down there. It's like someone's been walking along here, and it's been a lot of rain just recently and there's no tracks here. They haven't walked in there the next day or so. But someone's been walking down here and created this track. I've got no idea who it is, not me. But I might start walking it, and maybe I should have me little walk and talks on this track. It leads up there to some rocks, but I'll just get back to me video on the alcohol. Yeah, it's got a lot to answer for in the in society. Anyway, back to Christmas, yeah. And then they were, my wife and 2 daughters, they all went to overseas on a couple of weeks holiday, right? And then I thought, oh, it was around Christmas or something. I had to stay here and look after the dog and that, right? And I was on my own. I thought, oh, I'll just get a 6-pack of Tooheys Old. I used to drink Tooheys Old. It's only 4.2 or 4.4 percent alcohol or something. That's probably why you never really get too many hangovers and that with it. Anyway, I thought I'd drop into this bottle-o shop, and I went in to get a 6-pack of Tooheys Old. It's an Eastern States beer, and it's not that readily available over here, right? And so I went in the shop, and I went into the cool room and that, and there was a carton. There was a carton of Tooheys Old there. I thought, oh, that's me. So I grabbed that, and I sort of enjoyed myself here probably 3 or 4 days. I did that just with me and the dog, no one to get into any disputes or say the wrong thing or, you know, upset no one. So yeah, I've had my last drink then, but I don't see myself getting back into it. I'll keep resting it, and I'm on a bit of a mission now to see if I can go for half my life without drinking. So if I started at 15 and quit at 50, that's like 35 years. I'm 65. 15 plus 15, I've probably got another 5 or 6 years to go, and then I've done half my life without drinking. Yeah, it's you know, it's a good to get pissed and that. I wouldn't tell no one to not have a crack at anything. Yeah, have a crack at it, but when it becomes a bit of a problem, it can sort of grab your life a bit and turn it in the wrong way. And yeah, I'm just grateful that I did that bet with the wife. So yeah, she's enjoyed a sober husband for the last 15 years. Yeah, and I don't miss it. I've been pissed. I know what it's like. I know what it does to you. I've experienced it. Then it just gets a bit boring, you know. And since then, I've done a fair bit of stuff in the last 15 years because I'm not sitting around drinking piss. Yeah, so if that helps anyone, just give it a rest. Don't quit, because we're all human. And yeah, little Willy Wagtail over there. We're all human, and yeah, we do the best we can. I don't regret drinking, having a go at it, but I did realise early on that those spirits have a bad effect on me, and I just wonder what it's doing to your brain when it switches off your memory and you can't remember nothing the next day. That's a bit dangerous, and not sure what the health implications of that are to your brain. Anyway, hope it helps someone, and yeah, appreciate it if you give it a like and a bit of a subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.